Hello readers, I'm Amy, here for a special little project that I'm doing. This video and this project was inspired by Emily Fox from Books with Emily Fox. So she did this project in 2020 where she had a jar full of genres, and for 1 week she would pick one genre out of the jar, and that is the only genre she would read for one whole week. I'm not going to do the jar aspect of that because I am very much a mood reader, but I still want to go with that project of reading like a single genre. And lately, I've been in a slump, and I think it's a beginning of the year thing, end of the year thing, because I remember last year towards the beginning of the year I was feeling a little off. It might have been closer to February or something. But here it is. Today's what, January 4th. Today is January 4th that I'm recording this. And I feel a slump so bad. I've DNF'd 3 or 4 books in the last 2 weeks, and not even necessarily on purpose. Like, there's some books where I just gave up on it because it's like, I'm not getting into this. I'm not going to get into this. I'm not enjoying myself. It's not making me want to read. There was this other book that I read that it was beautiful writing and I was enjoying it well enough, but I kept forgetting about it. And I'm like, well, if I'm forgetting about it, why am I even reading it? So, feeling really slumpy. And I thought, you know what? I need something to jumpstart my reading. So now, for the point of this video, I have chosen a genre that I am going to stick to for the entire week. And I've decided to go with thrillers. Thrillers tend to be, if not a little shorter, definitely a little faster paced. They have some more excitement, they have mystery, they have clues to follow and things to figure out, they're very moody. And I think that reading thrillers for a week, or thrilling books more generally, will just kind of help drive me out of this slump a little bit that I've been feeling. So I actually started off my week with Verity. This has been recommended to me by Demi from the Weird Collection for must be almost a year now that she's been telling me to read this, and I believe I got it for free on Kindle last year, and I was planning on reading it for October, and that just didn't happen for multiple reasons. And I'm just sitting around reading my books and DNFing them, and I'm like, thrillers. Oh hey, you know, I have Verity, I haven't read that in a while, it's supposed to be a thriller. So I told Demi, hey, I'm reading this book, and she's like so excited to talk about it. I have, I think 20% left in it right now, and it's really, it's dark. There's a lot of child abuse, and when I say abusive relationship, I don't mean like physically abusive relationship. The one guy doesn't really know that he's being abused, or like the woman is so obsessed with him that it affects her actions towards others, but I would call it an abusive relationship nonetheless. I just don't know what kind it would be. Like, maybe that would be an emotionally abusive? I don't know, but it's heavy. So if you're not into abusive storylines, definitely don't go for this. But it's kind of reminding me a lot of what I read about from V.C. Andrews, where storyline-wise I can see why both authors would be considered problematic to certain audiences, but they're both still books that I've been enjoying. I mean, this is the only Colleen Hoover that I've read so far, but they're dark storylines for sure. They've got these awful relationships, but it's still a story that I enjoy. I don't know, I guess that's what I have to say about that. I'm not done with the book yet, but I am really intrigued to see how this is all gonna wrap up. I got on Libby. I have no idea if I highly doubt that I will read all of these within a week. This is just like my aspirations for the week. Not even my goals, but like things I might get around to. On my Libby app, I downloaded these are all audiobooks because I have a lot of graphic design work to do this week, especially for school, so it's going to be easier to find time for audiobooks and to actually sit down and read. I have audiobooks for Stephen King's The Institute. That's one of his newest ones. Haven't read much King lately. It sounds like one that I would be interested in. I got Devolution by Max Brooks. I think that's actually, it sounds like it's supposed to be a nonfiction that's written kind of like a thriller. Oh, what was her name? I'll put her up on the screen here, but someone had recommended this last year in a video. And gosh, I remember her name. I don't know that she's posted lately, but she talked about it. It sounded interesting. I realized I just DNF'd this, but I have Helter Skelter as an audiobook. Or not DNF'd, I just unhauled it. I think if I'm going to read Helter Skelter, an audiobook might be better because it just looks like a really big time-consuming read. And I honestly highly doubt that I'm going to get around to reading it. But I did get the audiobook of it in case it's something that I feel like reading. And on top of that, oh, I have another Kindle book. So I have 2 Instagrams. I have my design Instagram and my book Instagram. I can link to both down below. But on my design Instagram, I follow some authors and like book things for book cover design ideas, and I follow designers and I follow artists, all of that. And there's this book or like Instagram account that kept getting advertised that was Roller Derby Vampire Girl. And I'm like, I love the idea of roller derby. I've gone to games before to watch them, and it's so fascinating. I would love to learn to roller skate. I have a set of roller skates that I was starting to practice on before it got too cold, and I can barely stand up in them, but I will get there. And if you know me and my channel, you know I love a good vampire book. I don't know what this is going to be like. I find it interesting that Roller Derby Vampire Girls is written by a male author, but he seems to be advertising it as a very like female empowerment kind of book. I am just fascinated as to what goes on during this book. I really, really want to read it. And I think whether or not I enjoy it, I'm going to finish it anyways, just so I can talk about it. So that seems thriller-ish. That's on the Kindle because I got a free copy of it through Kindle Unlimited because my husband has that right now. And then I have 2 physical books. I have The Memory Police and I have Fangs. So Fangs, I don't know if you'll have seen the video for this yet. I'm still in the middle of filming it because I haven't received all the packages I'm supposed to get, but I got this copy of Fangs from Hillary from Melted Books for Christmas, and I love it. And I'm gonna do like a separate reading vlog project for this one, but being about vampires and more of a horror thing, I'm kind of considering it a thriller, which is the other thing that Libby seems to be a little confused as to the distinction between thriller and horror. So some of the books that I read this week might be more horror, but it's what came up on the app, so it's what I'm going with. But yes, I'll do a separate kind of reading vlog for this one. The Memory Police is another gift that I got. Might have been for Christmas. No, it was for my birthday. I got The Memory Police for my birthday. I've been wanting to read this for a while. I've heard nothing but good things. This, I think, is more of a dystopia-leaning, thriller-ish book. And I don't really remember what it's about. You just have, like, these women who are kind of hidden away. Yeah, but those are the books that I am hoping to get to this week. I know I'm not going to get to all of them, but I've picked my genre and I've given myself lots of options. So we'll see what I get to, and I'll kind of take you along with me as I read every other day or so. See you in the next clip. All right, I just finished reading Verity, and I don't know what to think. I really enjoyed it, and it was really intense, and that ending, though, I can't tell you the style in which she ended the book. It's not necessarily for everyone, but I love the style in which that book ended. That's one of my favorite kinds of ending, and Demi and one of my other friends have a Snapchat with me where we just talk about like books and makeup and give our thoughts to each other. And I got on Snapchat and I just sent her this little clip where I'm like, what did I just read? Call me when you get a chance, because I know she's at work. But maybe she'll call me later and we'll talk about it, and I'll try to figure out what just happened at the end of this book. If you're at all into like super twisted stories and like really tense, thrilling stories, totally pick this up. Trigger warning for abuse of many kinds, but like I really enjoyed it. Hopefully this is giving me what I need to get out of this slump. All right, next clip. Hi, everybody. Today is January 7th, 2021. This decade is gonna be something else. But as per usual with anxiety, I could not sleep last night after everything that happened yesterday. I'm not sleeping. I cannot relax to the point of going to sleep. I did sleep for like 4 hours, 5 hours last night, so that's good. But I decided to stay up reading because reading takes my mind off of things, and I was enjoying the book that I was reading, and it made me feel like I was accomplishing something, even if I was just accomplishing something for myself. So I finished up Roller Derby Vampire Girls, and it was great. It is self-published, and I've got some thoughts on self-published. Largely my thoughts for this book, as far as the writing and everything, is it needs a lot of edits, in that like some of the word choice was a little funky, or it was a little heavy on the memoirs in one section. Like there needs to be like some spelling and grammar edits generally. However, this book was fantastic. It was just, I think whenever I started it, I was enjoying it, but I was taking it too seriously. And by the time I was finishing it, I'm like, this is just fun. It's good to just read something fun. And yeah, it's about vampires and there's blood and it gets a little heavy in parts, but it was just a fun ride. You have this team of roller derby girls who are vampires and this team of roller derby girls who are not vampires, and it was just a good time. If you want some nice vampire like comedy, you think roller derby is awesome, I'd pick this up. Like, guy needs a little bit of practice, but this was a good book. Seriously, I'm looking forward to the photo shoot for this. I'm gonna break out my roller skates. I got on some pink eyeliner. I'm gonna have fun just taking photos for it today. So if I've gotten my lazy ass downstairs and gone to the storage room and I've actually taken some photos, I will post them here. Besides that, some DNFs. I started The Institute by Stephen King and listened to it for an hour, and nothing related to any of the plot mentioned on the back of the book happened, and so I gave up. I don't even know how many pages an hour is, but I'm like, if I'm an hour into the audiobook and I'm still bored, no. Started Devolution. I honestly thought that it was a non-fiction about a massacre that may or may not have been related to a Sasquatch, and I was intrigued. No, it's a fiction. It's supposed to be like this horror fiction, and again, I listened to it for like an hour, and nothing had happened. It's not that these books weren't any good. Like, I'm sure at other times I could have finished off these two or at least gotten farther, but I'm in this beginning of the year slump and I cannot read a slow burn book right now. I am doing a thriller week because I need books that hit fast, that hit hard. I can't take my time with the pacing right now. I need something to break me out of a slump, and a slow burn book is not what is called for right now. Forgot to mention at the beginning of the video that I also, sorry if my teeth are pink. I also, for Thriller Week, had decided to go ahead and start The Boys from Brazil, which is the only Ira Levin book that I own that I haven't read yet, and ended up DNFing it. I think I might actually give that one up. It's just not as interesting as I thought it was. It's like, you know that movie Lucy, the B movie with Scarlett Johansson that was like so good, even though it was so bad. And you have like all those beefy, muscly guys with the briefcases and the secret meetings and stuff. That kind of thing, I feel like just tends to work better in movies than in books. With the book, I'm just like, whatever. And I like Ira Levin a lot, and he's talented, but again, it's just not the book that I'm looking for right now. So DNF'd that one as well. I think that's pretty much it for this update, so let's see where I am at the end of the week. Finished Thriller Week by reading a fantasy, or starting a fantasy. I didn't actually finish it because it's really long and I haven't been concentrating on it, and I'm gonna read it later because I'm still kind of in a slumpy area, but I did finish some books, which I was happy with. Finished Verity, finished Roller Derby Vampire Girl, The Family Upstairs, and Fangs. I'm not going to talk too much about Fangs, just know that I really, really enjoyed it, but I have another video coming out on that that's also going to include like decorating my reading journal, because I got both of those from Hillary from Melted Books, so I just wanted to dedicate like a whole video to it. Started The Institute, started Devolution, started The Boys from Brazil, didn't finish any of those. Boys from Brazil is in my unhaul pile that I'll go through in like another month or two probably. The Memory Police, I did not finish yet. I still might. I was probably a little over a third of the way through, and I don't know what I think yet. It's interesting. I know a lot of people love it, so I feel like because so many people love it, I have to finish it because it's going to get better. Not that it's not good so far, like it's really interesting, but it's also one of those books I don't know why I'm enjoying it as much as I am. It's more literary fiction. It's very slow going in the story. But I'm enjoying it, but I don't know why I'm enjoying it. And being in the slumpy mood that I am, I feel like something like this should wait until later. So right now the plan / hope is to finish it. I don't know when that will be. I don't know if that hope is going to actually happen. I don't know. Helter Skelter I never even started on, which is fine. So it was a decent week. I enjoyed the books that I finished, which is why I finished them. And that was 4 books. So yeah, I guess I don't have that much more to say than I've already said in this video. But I hope you liked this. This was my first experimentation with 1 week, 1 genre. I'll be continuing this at different points throughout the year. I don't really have them scheduled out. It's just like, let's see what kind of mood I'm in. So going forward, we're still going to work on getting me out of that beginning of the year slump, which is kind of dragging the love of reading away from me right now. So see what we can do to fix that. That'll be it today. So please like, subscribe, be my friend on social media. I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, friends.